Hi everyone, my name is Cynthia and today I am going to be showing you guys how I get this smooth blowout with a little bit of movement and some body and volume up top. I love a simple blowout just to keep it nice and smooth and help with the frizz. So for those who are new to round brushes and just want to learn a basic blowout with a little bit of movement, I am going to show you guys how to do that. So if you guys want to see how I got this look, keep watching. So I let my hair air dry a little bit before I go in with the blow dryer just to make it easier on me. If you have hair that dries up super quick and is super frizzy and curly, then you can start the blow dry process earlier. Your hair is more on the straighter, wavier side, you guys can air dry a little bit more. So my hair is about 70% dry, 30% wet. I'm gonna start with products. Products are super important. I personally like volume, so I'm gonna go in with some volume products, as well as I like it smooth at the ends. So I'm gonna put some smoothing products on the ends of my hair. For volume, I'm gonna use Color Wow Root Lifter, and that just gives you a lot of volume in the root area. So I'm just gonna spray that throughout my roots. I like to get the crown area. I also like to mix in Nature Labs Volume Blowout Jelly. It thickens the strands and just makes it seem like you have more hair. It just adds volume, so I'm taking a little bit of that, going like this and just going inside my hair so it could get on my roots, and it adds that little bit of a grit so you could have that volume. For the ends, my ends tend to be a little bit dry, so I'm gonna go in with a smoothing product. I'm gonna use Nature Lab Smooth Blowout, and this just makes your hair so soft and smooth. It's also a heat protectant, which is great. I love this stuff. And I'm just gonna put that throughout the mid, shaft, and ends of my hair. So I'm going to show you guys a basic blowout pretty much with volume at the top. So make sure to grab sections that aren't too big. So you want to make sure you can handle it. If you are a beginner, make sure to grab smaller sections, because if they're too big, they're going to get tangled and it's going to get crazy. So I would start small. So I'm going to kind of just show you guys how to do a smooth blowout with volume and with like a little bit bend at the end. If you want more of the ones that you do like a curl with the brush, I do have a volume blowout tutorial and you guys can check that one out. I will link it below. But for this one, it's kind of just your basic blowout tutorial for those who are beginners. You guys can get used to this one and then go on to the other one if you want to get a little risky. Everything above my ears I clip up, and I'm going to start with the bottom sections of my hair, and I like to work my way up. I'm using the DryBar round brush. I will link it below. So for my left side, I'm going to go in and have the brush on my left hand and the blow dryer on my right. So you want to put the brush under the piece of hair. So like I said, if it's too big of a section, grab a smaller section so it could be easier to handle. I grab it with my right, put the brush under, grab the blow dryer and start at the roots, dry it. You can go slow, you don't need to go fast. Go all the way down, and once you get to the ends, you are going to use your fingers, so not your wrist but your fingers, to twist the handle. So you're kind of just twisting, going back down, twisting up, going down, and just really working the ends and using those fingers to just move the brush and move your ends through the brush. If you guys are new to it, practice doing this motion, moving the brush with your fingers and not your wrist. You really want to make sure that the hair is really on the brush, because if it starts slipping like this, you're not going to be able to really smooth it out. So then take a smaller section if you need to, and just make sure that it's all on the brush. You have a good grip on it and you really feel the brush working through the hair, because that's when you know you're going to really smooth out the hair and get good tension. So yeah, underneath, make sure you have the blow dryer wherever the brush is at, so you're putting heat and getting that and getting it nice and smooth. I know it's kind of hard to handle both, but just take your time and make sure wherever the brush is at that the blow dryer is following it. I don't put the blow dryer on the brush because I don't want to fry off my hair. I have it lifted above my hair and just moving it like this so there's not too much heat going into one place, and I'm kind of just distributing the heat. And then once you get to the ends, remember, start moving your fingers up and down to work those ends. And I like to go get those ends so I can have a bend and it can have some movement. And then once you feel like they're dry, then you could slide out. And if you feel like you need to go over it, then just grab that section again and then keep doing the same thing. So that's pretty much what I do, the same thing on both sides. I'm going to show you guys the top, which is a little different. So now let's get into the blow dry. To start off this blow dry, I am going to go up and down the strand using the round brush and the heat from the blow dryer to smooth it out. You want to make sure that you are working the ends, that the ends and the roots, I would say, are the most important. So I really work those ends and dry the roots as you see here. And then if you need to keep taking it out and putting it back in, I just keep doing that over and over until the strand is fully dry. And then I'm going to take it out and it should have a little bend at the bottom. So on the other side, I actually switch hands, but I'm going to show you guys the two different ways you can hold your round brush and the blow dryer. This one on my right side, I have the round brush on my right hand and the blow dryer on my left hand. So you guys can check that out and see if that feels comfortable to you guys. So I am doing the same thing, have the brush under the hair and then working those ends with the round brush. So now I am holding the round brush with my left hand, which is another option. And this, for me, it feels more comfortable to have the brush more horizontal. When I had it on my other hand, it was more vertical, but when I have the brush on my left hand, I like to have it more horizontal. It just feels better for me. And then I have the blow dryer with my right hand, holding it on top of the brush, making sure to work those ends and get the roots nice and dry. And then take it out. And I'm just going to keep doing this over and over until the strand is fully dry. And for my right side, I tend to switch the brush between my hands. I just do whatever feels most comfortable to me. So I just kind of end up doing both. So as you can see, I had it on my right hand, now I have it on my left hand. So just play with it. It does not have to be exactly how I'm doing it. It's whatever you guys feel most comfortable. And now I am splitting the top section away. So I have a mohawk section on the top and I am working with the sides. To get volume on the side, make sure to lift upwards, and then that is going to give you lift at that root area. So I know it's kind of hard, but if you guys can, try to lift upwards if you want that volume. So over here on the other side, I am working those ends, doing the same thing. Lift upwards at the root and then work those ends. And then when you blow dry the roots, try to have good tension so you could get it nice and smooth around the hairline. Now I am going to use these Velcro rollers at the top section of my head just to have the maximum amount of volume. So doing the top section is an arm workout. It gets my arms so tired. So I try to take small sections because I don't want to be overwhelmed, especially if you're new to this. Take smaller sections in the top. Don't make your top section so thick so you can make sure it's not falling out of the brush. I like to press the cool shot button right before I take out my hair, and then I take out my hair, grab the roller, and roll in my hair around that roller. Then I'm going to use the duckbill clip to keep it in place. I'm going to do the same thing with the section right in front. You want to make sure that your sections are super clean because this part can get super messy and tangled if you do not have clean sections. So for the front section, I actually blow this one forward. I have the brush under the hair and then I go and have the brush in back of the hair because I do like it to fall on my face a little bit, my bang section. So that's why I do that. And then I clip it up just like how I did the other ones. I let it cool for at least 5 minutes and I spray some hairspray so it can hold. When it's ready, then I take it out. And as you can see, I have so much volume on the top of my hair. Oh my God. This looks crazy. I like to get a brush and kind of play with it. So I just keep using my fingers and hands to play with my hair and just kind of have it lay into place. You really do have to play with your hair because after the Velcro rollers, you don't really know how it's going to fall. So I just keep messing with it. So keep doing this and keep trying to get your hair to lay the way you want it to lay. I'm going to use a toothbrush with hairspray to try to get those flyaways, and it is laying pretty nice. You can always use the blow dryer and re-blow dry any lumpy parts. Alright guys, so this is the final look. You guys could leave it with the volume if you guys wanted it. I kind of was brushing it and kind of tamed it to how I wanted it to lay. You guys can always go over pieces that need to go over. Like sometimes there's some creases and some lumps, so I just go over it really quickly with the blow dryer. But as you guys can see, I have that volume up here and then that subtle movement in the bottom, which I love. But like I said, you guys could have left it full of volume like how I had it in the beginning. It was super big, but it's also super easy to tone it down if that was too big for you. I just like to give different options because everyone has a different preference. So yeah, so I hope you guys like this easy blowout tutorial. If there's anything else that you guys want to see, comment below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.